Okay, hello and welcome back to the Novice Lumberjack. This is the Efco, did I say 45? It's a 6510. 6510, and this is a brand new saw. It got used just enough to wear off the print on the bar there, and the chain was a little bit dull. I just sharpened it up. It had never been sharpened before me. That's how little runtime it has on it. And if it wasn't for that bar and chain, you'd swear that it had never been fueled before. It's really primo clean and nice. And I just got messing with it this morning. I was going to just do a muffler mod, and you know, one thing led to another, and I did a full port job. I had, you know, I was like, I'll just do a base gasket delete and see how it runs. But then I got it off and I was like, geez, I'm here, might as well. So I took 10 thousandths off the base. I think this video will have that in here. So I'll just put that in right now. All right, so I got the Efco here, 6510. It's 63.4 cc's, I think. Anyways, I got it all ported up, ready to go back together. Easy port job, I thought. Anyways, the intake was crazy low. The intake, in stock form, we had 45,000 squish, 68 on the intake, which is 136 intake duration. That's low. The exhaust was at 101.5 and the transfers were at 128. The muffler I haven't gotten to yet, but I can see that it's, people have told me it's all really, really bad, stopped up. And it's a catalytic muffler. It's actually got the honeycomb catalyst in there and everything. But anyways, removed the base gasket, took about 10 thousandths off the squish, and I'm at 24 thousandths squish now. It's got a nice tight band up there, very similar to a Dolmar. Didn't cut the band at all. So now, ported numbers. I'm at 98 on the exhaust. I'm at 78 on the intake and 118 on the transfers. So we're going to button it up, put it back together, and see how she runs. I'll probably do a timing advance too. I don't want to, but I'm going to need to do a timing advance probably. I was going to make this like just a torquer and leave the exhaust alone, but you know how it is. You just like, oh, just take a little bit, a little bit, and a little bit became a little bit more, and a little bit more. And so, which means it's going to want to pull higher RPMs, which means I will advance the timing. See what I'm saying? All right, so here we are. Let's see how she runs. Got to do a little bit of tuning, I'm sure, but Quite nice. So it's going back to idle slowly. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get it to a nice balance to where it goes quickly back to idle, because whenever it takes a long time to get back to idle, that means idle circuit is a little bit too lean. So I'm giving it more fuel, but then I've got to turn up the actual idle itself. I'm giving it more fuel on the low side. That slows, that'll help it to go right back to idle. But then I'm having to raise the actual idle screw a little bit at a time to keep the idle in the RPM range it needs to be. So that's what I'm doing right now. Trying to get it to go back to idle quickly while still having enough butterfly movement to hold the RPM where it needs to be at idle. I accidentally choked it to stop it, so. Okay, so I'm sitting here editing this video, and final thoughts. So it weighs 14.3 pounds, which is exactly the same weight as the Echo 670 and 680, I believe. So it's not that heavy. it's only heavy whenever you go, but it's only 63 cc's. See what I'm saying? So, but as far as power, it feels extremely similar to the ported 670 that I just did. And I did some timing here, and it wasn't too far behind the Steel MS400. Now, the MS400 is faster and more powerful. There ain't no way around it. But what I'm saying is I'm doing the tests, and the fastest that this Efco made it through that log was 8 seconds and 11 frames. And it's wearing a Oregon LGX chain, so it's a safety breaker chain, and sharpened by me, and it was spot on. It was great. It was running great, and it was cutting great. Whereas I compared it, and I know you want to see it, but it's hard to do that stuff, and I'm going someplace with this. So the Steel MS400, whenever I finally got it, it's running great now. I put it in that wood. It had a Husqvarna C83 sharpened by me, which I think is significantly faster than this Oregon LGX chain that I just sharpened, that's on the Efco. And anyways, the Steel did that same cut in low 7 seconds. Like it may have even been some cuts that were in the high 6 seconds. It was fast, but you look at it, so it's a full second faster. The Steel is in this cut, which in an 8-second cut, what is that? That's a lot. That's 25% faster, something like that. No, 20 or 15% faster. But the point is, and it was wearing a faster chain. So, I mean, the Efco is going to get beaten by the Steel. No doubts about it. However, it's cutting really good. And I think that would be good to showcase that, because I am going to offer this Efco up for sale. But not now. It'll be after I get back from Germany. And, anyways, I'm fixing to leave for Germany here in 2 days. And I'm going to be gone over there for more than 2 weeks, I believe. So, anyway, so I can't sell this Efco right now. But whenever I get back, what do you guys want to see it go up against? You want to see it go up against the Steel MS400? Or you want to see it go up against the Echo 670? The Efco and the Echo are the exact same weight, so that would be a really good matchup. And they're going to produce similar power, I believe. So anyways, let me know what you would like to see. And if you're interested in this saw, let me know. It's going to be $650 shipped to you, and that you will not get the bar or chain with that. Just because it's a pain in the ass to mail that. If you want to pay for it, hey, I'll send you that bar and chain if you want. Might want to keep that chain. But anyways, but yeah, $650 for the power head, shipped to you anywhere in the United States except for Alaska. And yeah, if you want that, get a hold of me. It's first come, first serve. I don't hold nothing for nobody. Been burnt on that too many times. Hey, you like my new shirt? Deuces. I got plans for this shirt. Anyways, yeah, first person to get money in my hand is the person that gets that saw. That's a stellar deal, because it's like I said in the video, if it didn't have the ink worn off on that bar, right? If it just didn't have a bar, period, I would have been like, this is a brand new, never been ran saw. it's so clean and perfect, you know? And anyways, that's that. I really like the saw, you know, but I have no need for it whatsoever. I've got, look at those. And I'm not an Efco Oleomac guy. I just got a really good deal on it. Got it from a guy who regularly buys pallets of chainsaws that have been their takebacks and stuff. And somehow he got that one. It was in there. And I was like, yeah, I'll take it. You know, do a port job on it, play with it a little bit. I wasn't going to port it. I was just going to turn around and sell it. But I was like, I don't know. I'm glad I did, because damn if that thing doesn't run good. Oh, and somebody mentioned how, let me grab it real quick. So somebody had mentioned that they think it reminds them of an industrial piece of equipment, all right? And I am totally with them now that I broke this thing apart. I mean, I was kind of with them before, but I tore it apart and was like, holy crap. Yeah, that's totally industrial. There's a lot of things that it's got going on that make it big and heavy. And one of those things, like the pawls for the starter, they're so thick. Like anything else, Husqvarna, Echo, all of that stuff, you're going to have a starter pawl, let's say, you're going to have a starter pawl that's about that thick, right? Well, these starter pawls are like that thick. They're big, hunky metal. And yeah, another thing is like this, the fuel and oil. I think the oil has it. Yeah, it does. Can you see the O-ring set up on there? Same thing with the fuel. See the O-ring? So it doesn't have a flat O-ring. It's got an oil and fuel resistant, I don't know what to call them, but I've seen those O-rings. All right, I used to work I was a mechanical and electrical tech at this big industrial factory, and I worked on all the equipment and stuff like that. And I see that brown O-ring right there, and I just, my mind just goes to it. That is that's an industrial part that you would get for one of these industrial machines. And anyways, I guess all I'm rambling about is, I bet you a saw like this would do excessively well as a rental. You know, I can see this saw being painted completely yellow and it says Whacker, right? And your Whacker is a very well-known industrial brand. And they make just industrial tools that a construction crew would rent to get the job done. And so, yeah, I can completely see it. Yeah, this is an industrial saw. They don't care so much about weight and balance and stuff. They want to put it in some dumbass's hands who they know is just going to throw it into the back of the pickup truck. They're going to drop it on the concrete. They're going, you know, whatever, you name it. It's tough and sturdy, and that's probably why it's so damn heavy. The top cover and everything, also, it seems to be thicker plastic. You know, it's all, I mean, it's all high grade stuff. So, anyways, it's definitely, I can see why people would get into this. The only thing that I don't like is it's only 63 cc's and it weighs 14.3 pounds. And, you know, who cares, right? But all I can do is see the potential Like, it's got a 35 millimeter stroke, 48 millimeter bore. If they would take and make that 48 millimeter bore 52 millimeters, now you'd have a saw to really, really play with, and that would be worthwhile and stuff. But as it is, you know, the cut times, I don't know which one would be faster. They were wearing different chains, but the cut times were like right on par with the 357 XP that I just did. And that only weighs 12 pounds something. So what's the point? You know, I can't let go of that. What's the point? It's big and heavy. Now, if it had 80 cc's or even 75 cc's, oh yeah, now the point is clear. And so it'd be interesting to maybe just get a different cylinder for this, because I do believe overseas they have like I think it's like an 8110 or something, and I think it's the same saw just with a bigger piston and cylinder. Anyways, whatever. I blabbered on. Later, guys.